Holy crap, everybody. Okay, Boomer is back. We got passes from the nursing home for this weekend so we could come out and do this show. I'm just kidding. They threw us out because we were trying to steal the Jello cups.
Our insurance run out. It's like that little damn line on
Yeah,
Star Trek: The Next Generation. The one that always goes down is the amount of insurance remaining.
yep.
Uh,
That's pretty much it.
yeah, it's been a lot. We've had a lot going on. I did
Yep.
manage to put up a bookcase with most of my hardcovers and trades on it.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, yeah. It's I got it on sale. It's like half off, dude. I'm trying to get all that stuff kind of organized and maybe weed some stuff out.
Hmm.
Crap, I forgot to show and tell. I did pick back up my. I was debating on selling it now, but I don't know if I'm gonna hold on to it. My House of Secrets '97, first Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
It's over,
Want?
over there.
I
Do
know
what?
it's. I said want. I know it's.
Yeah,
I know it's super expensive. Um,
yeah.
One thing I'm trying
I'll,
to do now because I'm sick of sitting around here doing nothing. The problem is my health is so bad that you know every other day it's either like a different doctor's visit or nursing coming to take care of my leg. But I'd like to be able to do some kind of like work from home thing. I'm sick of this.
yeah. It gets,
Um,
dude. Sitting at home. I sat at home for 3 weeks. We won't go into details on the podcast. Nobody needs to know what
nope.
happened, but I was at home for 3 weeks, man, and it freaking kills you. Whoa. But yeah, I'm
I
glad to be
mean,
back up and moving.
I like being home
Yeah,
because basically all the money that the one
and I
check a month I get pays for the rent. Pays for the majority of the rent and the bills. So I'm like, well, I bought this. I might as well stay in this. And I got a big
exactly.
place, and we're still like working on getting stuff around. And I got to talk to the property manager who came in today, of course, to my mess, um, because it's low income, so they get like
Yeah,
federal and state funds. So once a year, uh,
they have to verify it.
somebody with four letters in their title comes down and they check apartments for stuff that's wrong and make sure everything gets up to code and actually all that good stuff. So, um, but we're trying to get everything you know taken care of. I was very happy. I found a whole bunch of um, books. More importantly, I found my Clone Wars #1 again.
Really?
It went
Now, are you going
missing.
to sell it?
I'm really thinking about it.
So so you're sitting there like me with the HOS, huh? Going, do I sell it? Do I not?
Well,
Do I sell it?
I don't know what it's going for now, but
It
I'm
was
pretty sure
stupid last time I looked.
I'm pretty sure if I got it cleaned and pressed and then had it graded, um, last I looked, like a 9.8 was going for around 2K.
Yeah.
I haven't looked in like almost a year because I'm like, where did I put that book? Did my kid take it with her My Little Ponies? I'll kill her. That was a joke.
Did I tell you about my? Did I tell you about the FUPA when I was actually going to sell some books? I was going to sell God, Sandman 1, 4, and 10.
Oh yeah, the Sandman clown.
Oh my
Oh,
God, dude! And
oh,
I thought my wife threw them away, and that's like whatever. Like life is just this bad right now. They got thrown away, and cleaning up, moving stuff around. I found out they weren't thrown away. So I'm like, okay, cool. There they are.
I did I finally emptied out those last two huge boxes of books from Jesse James Comics out in Arizona.
Oh yeah.
They've been sitting on my couch for like a year and a half.
Oh my God.
He's got like a half a. He does what he does is anybody that wants to build a box, you can build a box with them, and like you pay as you go. And the first payment, they'll hit you with the medium mail price to mail the big boxes because they know approximately how much they weigh, and they do they print up their mailing labels from like Mailchimp or whatever.
MailChimp.
Mailchimp or stamps.com, whatever they use, right there, and then they just load them in a truck and they drop them off. Or they come.
So is it a short box or a long box?
It's a short box.
Okay, short box. So, but they got an idea how much it costs to send a short box.
Yeah, because they've been doing it forever.
Okay.
But they'll do his lady. She speaks very softly, so she has earned the nickname of the Whisperer, and she's the one behind the curtains, making sure all the books go to the right people, and if he misses something, she'll tell him. So he has. There's been times where she's gone away on vacation, and he's basically by himself, and you can tell because everything moves a little slower. But they do this thing called a Whisperer Special. They do doorbusters, Whisperer Specials, and the Whisperer Special that they usually have is they'll find like all these like number ones, indies, oddballs, whatever, like floating around in like old boxes, and they'll put stacks together. You get like 10 or 20. Matter of fact, the other week he put up, there was a stack of DC number ones, there was a stack of Marvel number ones, and there was a stack of independent number ones. And if you bought all three, he'd give them to you for like $22. But I had the Red Baron himself, Mike Baron, who we've covered that Daredevil Punisher crossover.
Yes, we have.
And I had him on last night, but it was funny because from 1989, from Innovation, before everything looked beautifully painted, a miniseries, issue 1 of Group LaRue.
Oh my God, I don't think I've ever even heard of that crap.
Where is it? There it is.
Oh God, that's some fish police. That's some fish police stuff right there, right?
This is 1989, but
yeah,
the book is still in great condition. Basically, it's a group of friends. They all get together to play D&D, and it turns out they play it at the abandoned mansion of his grandfather that was presumed dead, and may or may not be dead. Turns out he was a warlock. And while they're playing D&D and they're announcing their powers and going through the lineup, they end up getting them.
They get the powers?
They actually get the powers.
Yeah.
And one of the kids' family ends up getting killed by like these creatures from a different dimension. They went to try to hunt him down, and one of them hit the boiler or the heater in the basement and blew the whole house up. He lost his mom, dad, and sister, and then he ended up crashing with a friend. But the kid ended up being filthy rich afterwards. So, hey, I read the first issue. It was a fun read, and it's kind of cool because it's got that D&D hook, and it's like a real life comic book. You get thrown into the adventure, and you actually have the powers that you claimed at the beginning of the campaign. So it was pretty interesting. Mike Baron's a great writer. I had him on. He's he's got a book up on it. He's got a crowdfunder up on Indiegogo now called Private American. And it's
Really?
it looks really good, and he's doing it with longtime artist collaborator. The artist's last name is Bonk. He's the artist that did the Emperor Joker series for DC, and he's worked on like a million things.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Now, every time Mike launches a book that he's personally writing,
Yeah.
he makes an account for the book on Twitter to just like announce things and promote it, and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't like Twitter doesn't like the subject matter of Private American because it has
Why?
to deal with the southern border, primarily, you know, them trying to help the people that are being used by like the cartels and the human traffickers, and they don't like that because that's telling stuff that's actually going on, and so they deleted that account and banned the book from opening a new one. They did the same thing to him a year ago. He wrote a book called the Thin Blue Line, and it was a pro police book.
Yeah.
And they did the exact same thing to him. It violates.
And that's Twitter?
That's Twitter. It violates our standards. Twitter, please. We already know you have no standards.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why they would ban them. That doesn't make any sense.
They just.
I mean,
I know. They don't like the narrative in his book, so they said, "You're promoting violence." No, it's a comic book. It's an action comic book, but
they're all
it looks
violent.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
So-
I have not. Like I said, I have not been out much. I got one print. I got it put up. I did get another a ukiyo-e print for my collection. For those out who collect ukiyo-e prints, yeah, I'm one of those weird ass people that collect 100-year-old Japanese prints. And the only other thing I found at the freaking we got this place in town called it's called like the Amazon store, and I didn't know this, but yeah, it's just junk from Amazon, dude, and it's got all these cool illustrations in it. But this is like some of the first 5 or 6 sci-fi books by Edgar Rice Burroughs, and they're all illustrated. Yeah, it was like $1, but these are all from the 30s or before.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Peculiar series. Like for $1, I can pick it up.
I did find in one of the boxes. Apparently, I think I spent like $20, and it was a whole bunch of Star Trek magazines.
Oh, sweet! The magazine comics.
Star Trek
the magazine
Communicator.
magazines.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm like, I go, okay, I love this cover. And then I love that cover.
Yes. Yeah, that's a super famous picture.
And then there's a whole bunch of, other ones, but I'm like, if I ever can make it to Ticonderoga, New York to the Star Trek original series set tour,
Yeah.
when William Shatner's there, I want to get this book signed with him and Leonard on the cover.
Yeah.
Then that
Oh my
sucker will
God,
go up
yeah,
in the
but-
frame.
Yeah, but you know how much he charges for a signature?
$100.
Is it just 100 now? I thought it was more than that.
I think up there it is. Well, because if you the ticket is like up there for when William's there, because he's the one giving the tour and telling everybody, stories about
Oh, that would be cool.
on the set stories. And then you end the tour on the bridge, he of course sits in the captain's chair.
Yeah.
You end the tour on the bridge,
Excuse me.
and William picks a favorite episode of his to watch on the view screen, which is like an 80-inch
Yeah, TV.
4K TV. So you're sitting on the bridge of the Enterprise watching an episode of Star Trek with William Shatner. I'm like, I would like to watch Arena like that, the Gorn episode, because that would just be funny. But this, the first one I showed, has all new interviews. It's a special series. It's an original series special issue. It's got new interviews with William Leonard and Walter, plus new changes on behind the scenes on Star Trek Voyager. That's how old this is, with Brandon Braga and Jill Terry. And the other one has a special 30th anniversary interview with Leonard from Las Vegas.
96. Yeah.
Yeah, from the Vegas show. And I mean, I've seen the tape when him and William do the show together.
Yeah.
On stage, and Leonard just going, he's not a nice man. He would stop me from getting to the commissary before other people. You don't understand. I have to go and eat, and I have to make it back because they got to glue these stupid ears back on again.
He steal his bicycle.
Go steal his bicycle, put it in his car with both his pit bulls so he couldn't get at it, change it to the fence, hoisted it up in the rafters of one of the sound stages. Oh.
Now, see, all that.
It was hilarious because they both read the original review for the first episode in Variety.
God, terrible. Yeah.
And they commented on Spock's hair. His haircut is a Lulu. He goes, but get this. The part of Captain Kirk was played by William Shatner, who appears wooden.
Dang it.
It was funny. So let's get into this book. So we'll come out of the pre-show and go. Welcome to the show. The book, we finally got to read it. You read it again. I finished reading it. And I read it. I finished just before you asked me. So we're going to give this a shot tonight. when you messaged me, like 30 seconds before I had just finished the book, you go, well, we better. I actually read the book.
Oh, dude! And what's bad is I've read it a couple of times, but it's been years since I've actually sat down and read it again. It's pretty short for a full book. Mm-hmm. But it's awesome, dude. This is, I mean, it a bunch of questions. It shows Nick kind of at his weakest. It's got a freaking killer lineup. And this is this has been months and months ago, it seems. It probably was. Marvel Spotlight, dude, just a freaking showcase. It's like for stories that people did that they wanted, hey, we got this awesome story. Let's find some place to put it.
Spotlight.
And they tried stuff out. Yep. Well, I mean, now if you go back and look at it, it's the same thing like with Marvel Fanfare. I'm not sure if you know the whole deal with Fanfare, but Fanfare was originally started out as that they didn't think were quite good enough to be in the main title. So this story isn't as good. This story isn't good enough or as good as the regular Amazing Spider-Man story. So we're going to stick it in Marvel Fanfare. And some of those stories are awesome. There's a freaking 3-issue run in Marvel Fanfare that's a George Perez Black Widow story that's like legendary.
And don't forget the Mobius Silver Surfer story.
The Mobius Silver Surfer story's in there. The other one that's in there is the freaking Spider-Man, X-Men, and Kazar, all in the Savage Land, like the first 3 issues, and it's all by like Michael Golden.
Oh yeah, I remember I had an issue like because I had the Silver Surfer Galactus one because I didn't know who Mobius was back then, and
yeah,
I just looked at the cover. I go, "This is rad. I'll take it." But I had one that was Angel before the Metal Wings.
Yes.
Versus Sauron.
That's in one of the early issues, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, like issue like 4 or 5.
3 or 4.
Yeah, like 3 or 4. Maybe. And I had it and I go, this is cool. And somewhere around here I've got a Angel in the Savage Land 2-figure set of him and Sauron. And I bought it just because I had that book.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, not only that, it's a good story because I think Claremont writes that one, but Golden is so good, and people just don't talk about him enough. But
there's a certain Batman issue that Michael Golden did that is, has become huge, and be like, yeah, I had that. Yeah, it was really good. I don't know what happened to it.
But yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I remember the cover is, it was a really good issue. And then I found out 10 years ago, he goes, yeah, that book's going for like $50 to $100. I'm like, what? I bought it out of a dollar box.
Yeah. But I think my first copy of this I pulled out of a dollar box. It's still not worth, maybe 9/8, $20 maybe, but this is one you read for the story. But yeah, so he's back. Nick Fury in the Shield. A legion of killers stand between Nick Fury and the Infinity Formula. So this issue, yes, people, this one answers the question: how the hell does Nick Fury look like he's in his late 20s, early 30s, and he's freaking 80 or 90 years old?
It was we're gonna make Nick Fury look a little older with the gray sideburns.
Yeah.
Oh, like you did with Reed. Yeah. Just like that.
Reed sideburns.
And everybody's like goes, it's like time hasn't passed for Nick Fury because of what we're about to go into here.
Yeah.
But it's the Infinity Formula is a formula that's helped him stay with being youthful and vigor. And people like, that's who? Doesn't look like Sam Jackson. I go, and another story somewhere they explain that Nick Fury is Sam Jackson, Nick Fury's grandfather.
No, it's his dad.
Oh, it's his dad? Oh, I thought it was grandfather.
Yeah. No,
it's the gray sideburns again.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you remember in the early issues of, Tales of Suspense, when they first introduced Harry, they run with the tagline, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., our answer to James Bond, or Marvel's answer to James Bond.
Yeah.
So essentially, it was this is when James Bond, he came out in 66, I think that first issue hit. So, I mean, we're talking Dr. No came out in 62, I think. So we're talking From Russia with Love time. Because that's just Dr. No. I think From Russia with Love's the third one. I can't remember the second James Bond movie now. But Thunderball's fourth, I think. No, Goldfinger's third. From Russia with Love is 2. Thunderball's 4. But that's when it came out. And so Nick Fury gets
Moonraker was the first one I ever saw in a theater. So
I saw Moonraker in the theater too. And when I watch it at home now, I go, how did I think this was awesome when I was little? It's terrible.
Jaws.
Oh my God. He's all right. Now he's cool in The Spy Who Loves Me, but that's it. All right, so assignment. The Infinity Formula, Nick Fury, script by dude. It boggles my mind how much awesomeness this guy has written for Marvel. Jim Starlin.
Yep.
I mean, not only can he draw his ass off, he can write. I mean, just a ton of stuff. Art is by Howard Chaykin. And because there is no no inker present, we're going to assume that Mr. Howard actually had to ink his own work. Jim Novak letterer, Jan Cohen is our colorist, and the editor was marvelous Marv Wolfman.
Bunch of legends
this come
here.
out. Yes, 1976, copyright 76, Marvel Spotlight. And the story
Jim
just
Starlin. So better again. I think I told you that I followed a story that Starlin is back drawing again.
Really? What's he working on?
A brand new Dreadstar graphic novel.
I was fixed to say it's got to be Dreadstar, isn't it? Yeah.
And I'm excited because I came across in those boxes that I in the pre-show I was talking about unpacking. I got a nice fat stack like this of a bunch of like miscellaneous Dreadstar issues.
Dreadstar.
They're cheap as hell. It's like 10 for $5 or something. Something crazy.
And the thing it's crazy. The art's good, the story's great, and there's some whack stuff out that if you read Dreadstar and then you read some later DC and Marvel, you go, I've seen this before. I've seen it somewhere else. I wonder where. I mean, what is this? The guy that leads the governor of the planets for the bad people, the royal, the church of whatever in Dreadstar, looks like Mongol.
Yeah,
looks like Mongol.
Yeah, because we did that Marvel graphic novel with Dreadstar.
Yep. Yeah, the painted one, the first one.
Yeah.
So the story opens up here, and you gotta understand. This is Nick, obviously, up here narrating it. I doubt if anyone enjoyed the live entertainment that evening. And this guy's like, "It's over, Doc. The race is over. You've won the booby prize." And this Doc, you know who he is, right? He's just, please don't. And this other man's got a gun to his head. And he pulls the trigger. Boom. Kills him. Look, it's violent. Would be thrown off Twitter. Neither dry Doc.
I hope not. We're on Twitter tonight.
Dang it. This is where you made your big mistake. It's your fatal mistake. And he just like shoots this doctor in the head, pulls a little button, and the trapdoor vault opens and he falls. And when he's out, the guy's like, tells his little folks, check the notebook. He says, now we got his secret out of the way. The time's come for us to make real money. And so I'm going to call Nick Fury. call on line 7. And of course, now we see the phone call going through here. Nick picks it up like, Fury, don't talk, just listen. Professor Sternberg is dead. We will now be supplying you with your Ponce de Leon serum. Madame Renoir shall act as our agent in this matter. Click. They just hang up on him. And of course, I do like that this is narrated kind of like a cool detective story.
Yeah.
Fury's like, hey, man, this is short, sweet. These are obviously professionals. And Contessa's there. And she's like, hey, what's going on, Nick? And he just kind of blows her off. Nothing. So vacation can't fix. He just walks the hell out. He says, hey, I'm gone. I'm going to go hunting. And he tells Duncan to take over S.H.I.E.L.D. And, I'll be out of town. And he just leaves. And now we see kind of a flashback. This explains our Infinity formula here. I think there's another story that ties into this, but I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look it up because I think I've read it. That Sternberg here, because so we find out that Nick, this is way back in WW2. He's on a Nazi patrol, looking for Nazis fighting it, and he gets freaking he steps on a landmine or something. Minefield. And he blows up, and he's damn all messed up. Well, he gets taken to Dr. Sternberg's house, and the doc fixes him up. But this is kind of a notorious time when they were doing all kind of experiments on people with or without permission. And Sternberg injects Nick Fury with some sort of treatment with heal. And, about a week later, after, Nick's coming out of it, the American bombers actually destroy his house. And Fury manages to escape, but doesn't know if the doctors made it out. He thinks he's dead. He never sees the body. About 6 months after the war ends, Nick Fury gets a package in the mail. And it's got a needle in it and a note from the doctor. And he was going to have the infirmary check it out the next day. And then it shows him when he gets up the very next day, he's aged like 60 years overnight.
I've seen Steve Rogers do this trick.
Yeah. So he decides, screw the infirmary. We're going to inject the doc with whatever he said he sent me. So he injects himself, and within just, it's just like 20 minutes or something. No, about an hour. So about an hour after he injects himself, he's back to his normal, late 20s, early 30s self. And the whole note is the doc is blackmailing him. He says, you can pretty much live forever, but every year you have to have a booster shot. And we find out that's what Nick Fury has been doing. So he's been being extorted since the 40s by this doctor, who has always been just out of reach. He's never been able to get to him, but he's managed to get him the money, however, and the doctor always gets him his serum so he stays young and youthful and able to keep going on. He thinks about all this while he has him a drink on his airplane flight to Paris. But I can't see it's been so long since I've thought about comics and this kind of stuff. It's really the first book I've read in months. But I think I read at one time Sternberg was trying to recreate the super soldier serum and instead come up with this.
Whatever works.
What it makes sense, whatever works. So Nick gets to the airport and he manages to go meet Madame Renoir there, and he tells all the thugs at the door. He says, "Hey, tell her that I'm here." And of course, they're going to give him some hell. One guy tries to, get him with a garrote, and he knocks that out of him, and just lays out the other guys. And now he starts thinking about, back in Vietnam, when he worked with the French government and stuff, she being cheap because these pure, just incompetent thugs that she's hired. But he goes in to see her, and he's like, "Hey, she obviously knows, they've met in the past, so good to see you." And he said, "I know why I'm here. I've got no time for chit chat." And she's trying to come on to him, and he's like, "It's a pity." She says it's a pity that we don't have time for anything else. And she just gives him a freaking ticket to the Golden Dagger Casino in Las Vegas. And Nick realizes that he has been taken out of America into Paris, while whoever has managed to steal the formula from the doctor has, gotten into Las Vegas, and he knows that the Golden Dagger itself like a mob stronghold for somebody. And now he's got to head back and go and try and find out. So I've wasted valuable time in Paris. I know you're not, I guess you're not the biggest fan of Chaykin. Sometimes I don't know how much he has actually done. He's all over. I think he's great. He's stylistically.
Well, I was a Howard Chaykin fan until I ran across a post of his on social media.
Yeah.
Just, "Hi. Years ago when I was a kid, I really loved your American Flag series." At which point he decided he was going to pick a fight and rip a new one on me. Maybe I should open my eyes to the internet and see what he's working on today.
Yeah.
I go, "Well, since you decided to be an ass munch, I don't give a flying what you're working on. And if I find my American Flag issues, I'm going to use them to start my next campfire."
Damn it. But I mean, not only American Flag, he was.
Oh, he did so much.
He's like Sal Buscema. I mean, my God, that man could draw every day. So Nick Fury, frustrated, he heads back to Las Vegas. He says, "The bright lights, bad taste, gorgeous ladies, round the clock." So he heads out there, and when he gets there, he says, they've already received a phone call, and the guy's like, I know he says his name at some time, but I've done missed it. He said, "We'll have Fury eaten out of our hands." His whole scheme with this is because he knows Nick Fury, he's going to get Fury to help the government stay off of him. So no matter whatever he wants to do in the damn casino, it's going to be legit. If he wants to run drugs, nobody's going to mess him because Nick Fury's got the government to stay off of him. If he wants to run, prostitution or whatever, it doesn't matter what kind of criminal enterprise he runs out of the casino, Nick Fury is going to call. He's going to make plenty of money. Yeah. With Fury in tow, I'm going to take over this state. I'll be able to do anything. I like, and Fury's government connections will protect me. So there he's right there. He's telling everybody his evil plans.
So to that, I have to say,
no. Don't stop it. What the hell is that?
This is
Just
the
the no
note pen.
thing?
This is like a little Christmas pen that my daughter thought was hilarious when she was 4 because it said no. And she used
No.
to steal this from my desk. And every time I go, okay, bedtime, she'd hit it. Time to take a bath, she'd hit it. Time to clean your room,
Damn.
she'd hit it. Homework. And I used to have to go hunting around the house every night looking for the damn note pen. And now I have
No pen. You haven't.
to use for cheap laughs on silly podcasts. So
It's whatever works. So
Yeah.
we'll start by setting up a series of operations by Shield's test area outside of town, and then the phone rings. He says, even make Fury an agent. And the guy's like, boss, hey, what's up? It's Fury. He's in town? Good. Have the boys bring him in. We're too late for that, boss. What do you mean? Fury's already here. And you see Nick
punches right through the door.
Yeah, punches this loser through the door. Harris is the guy's name. Harris, you've got something I want. I've come to talk. Turkey. Glad to see you're going to be reasonable about this, Fury. Shall we sit down to a couple of drinks and begin negotiating? So Steele, Harris, and I sat back and began haggling over the terms of my existence. Unfortunately, we were wasting our time, for unknown to us, the object of our conversation was about to once again change hands. So while Fury and Steele Harris are talking about what Fury's got to do to get his damn yearly shot so he could stay alive, a gas gun is fired and a man falls unconscious, and the Infinity Formula received a new mysterious owner. So somebody else steals the formula from Harris. It says complete and legal immunity and aid in operating our request. Fury's just like, dude, way too much. He says, I like myself, love life, and all this pain to beast. He says, your honor is a small price to pay for that. And Fury's like, my honor? He says, I lost that a long time back. Damn it. Of course, while they're negotiating, they finally get Harris gets a phone call, and they find out the formula's been ripped off. And, of course, Harris is shocked, and Fury just says, real small, he says, no. Oh, crap.
No, I'm not going to hit the pen again.
Yeah, but Fury, Harris gets mad at him, and then of course they all start freaking fighting and attacking one another. And Fury has to get the hell out of Dodge because everybody in there just opens fire on him. He manages to get into his little shield car, the one that flies and heads off. And of course, all the gangsters get in a helicopter and they chase him. This is a coin at the end down here at the bottom. So Fury, he hears a machine gun from the helicopter, and he actually sets the car on autopilot and jumps out and causes it to rise up and crash into the helicopter. And it, of course, kills the losers that are in there. Fury lands out on the side of the road, and they're right after him, because all of Harris and the rest of his men are there. Fury, who's barely hanging on to the damn guardrail over the side of the mountain, climbs back up and attacks Harris and his men, beats the hell out of them, and then heads back into the casino. Or beats the hell out of Harris's men. He heads back into the casino, and when he gets there, he's looking for Harris, who is, at this point, made it up to the catwalk at the top of the casino so he can walk over the gambling floor and look at everybody, because he's trying to find out who the hell has the formula. And Fury, of course, goes up there to him, and he says, I came back. He says, if we can't work together to get that formula back, it really won't matter. And Harris, of course, at this point is just so damn mad that he's gonna kill Fury anyway because he thinks Fury's done. He says, "You come back to kill me," and of course he draws his gun on him. And this is kind of cool. He says Harris has flipped out. The stress has been too much for him. There's no reasoning with him, so I had to rely on my roll of silver dollars. So Fury, you remember back in the day when we were younger, you'd have a roll of quarters or silver dollars or nickels, and you'd actually hold them in your hand if you got in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a freaking roll of silver dollars. He threw at Harris.
It was a makeshift pair of not brass knuckles.
No, it was just like turning your hand into a damn blackjack.
Yeah.
That's it. And he freaking throws a roll of silver dollars. Yeah, for younger people who may have never even heard of this, yes, we used to do this. We always did it with quarters.
Yeah, I did it with quarters. I couldn't afford a whole roll of silver dollars.
Yeah. So he throws a roll of silver dollars at him, and of course it breaks, and he drops the damn gun. And the gun lands on the glass ceiling underneath the catwalk and cracks it. And so Fury gets in, lays into him. But as you can see, if you look real close at the picture, Fury's hair is no longer black. He's actually beginning to age as it happens. And he's, he lays into him. He's like, oh my God, the punches don't have the same strength they had earlier. And this guy just starts, he's actually getting older. And I think maybe he had taken the formula at one time himself and was being blackmailed as well. So him and Nick Fury just keep punching at each other because both of them want the formula. And finally, Fury managed to do a flip and turn this guy's weight against him. And he goes through the damn glass ceiling and falls onto the freaking jackpot or slot machine and sets the jackpot off. Damn coins are going everywhere and people are just standing there. But if you look at the last panel, the crowd stood frozen and strange, except for one bystander who turns and bolts. It's a lady. And then up at the top on the catwalk, the door leading up to the catwalk opens and you hear Nick. He says, that voice. Even across the gap that separated us from reality, I knew the voice. He says, it's Val. He says, just lay still, Nick. Let me inoculate you. So Contessa, has the freaking formula. This is the formula you've been waiting for. He says, so she inoculates him. And then, there's a time lapse here. How'd you get here? He says, over the last 6 years, I've been an agent. I noticed every year at this time you act oddly. I decided this year I was going to learn why. Then it was you who stole the serum and the notes. Why? Nick, if you don't understand why, I can't explain it to you. Let's go home. And she picks him up. Having her help me out of that place felt really good. I hadn't thought much about Contessa of late. I was just too busy. This is my mistake. I suddenly realized Val was one hell of a woman. Maybe she was just the kind of a guy for a man who could live forever. Dude, Val was awesome back in the day. Of course, they made her a bad guy. And now they got, what's her name from Seinfeld? Going to play her in the Marvel MCU. Yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Yeah. Yeah. Plays Contessa.
Great. Just what we need. More yada, yada, yada in the Marvel universe.
Damn it. Yeah. This seemed to me like a pretty short issue to read. It read fast. It does explain how Nick is still young. I don't know who else the damn doctor was blackmailing, which would be cool to find out. I cannot remember what issue. Like I said, I think talked about the fact that they think he was actually working on a super soldier serum, but ended up making the Infinity Serum. it's always been one of those little gems to me because I like Nick Fury. He's a great character to me. Just always has been fun to read.
There was one page in the book that struck me funny, and I'm calling it up on my screen to see if I can figure out which one it was.
Was it something with the art or?
Oh no, it was part of the writing. I'm trying to remember what page it was.
Yeah, some of it at the first part, there was one or two little sections like here that it's kind of like the same thing. You can't tell he's narrating, and then he gets the phone call, but you can't. It's not delineated. There's a couple little issues like that.
Let me see. Now that I want to find it, I won't be able to find it.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny, like at the beginning when they were doing the flashback to the original Doctor, and I looked at him.
Right here.
And he's pulling his mask down.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, it's Rudy Wells from the $6 Million Man.
Dang it.
It was just like the first half of a line he said, and
just kind of weirdly worded.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh.
See, I just wonder sometimes how many of these little, gems are stuck in comics that we never read anymore. Because they're not part of a big run or, nothing major happens in it. They just explain something. And that's all this issue does. It explains one thing. The whole issue answers one question. That's it.
Yeah, I can't find it. It's the beginning of a line, and the first half of the line is, I tried to get him off.
Oh God.
The catwalk or something. And I'm just like, oh, good Lord.
Damn it. Your mind went there, huh?
It always does.
But
I'm the one friend that can turn a hostage negotiation section.
Damn it. It's like that it's like that damn the new Hellraiser movie. Like, whoa, when did you become a chick?
Oh yeah, we got to gender swap everything. We watched it. It was okay. I thought the best part was played by the house itself, but
oh, the house was freaky.
The house was like, oh, it's like a demonic Rubik's cube. So
exactly. Somebody said online, and I read the story. Of course, I read it in high school, so 30 years ago, that this was originally a woman in the short story, and I can't remember, or novella. I don't remember it being a woman, but that's been 30 years ago. I read it. So, I mean, I don't know if it was a gender swap or not for that, but I mean, if you go back to the source material, but it's always been a guy, but I would assume they could change. They're just not, they're freaking demons. They just, they're not even demons. They're whatever. But yeah. So did you pick one out for next week, or we're gonna go ahead and do Fool Killer?
Let's do Fool Killer.
My Little Pony.
Oh my God. We can't. My daughter took all of her My Little Ponies to her sister's house.
Did she? My kid has yet to tell me how good the new Alien series is. I've been purchasing them for her, and she started reading them. Alien, the new Marvel, Alien, and Marvel Predator series.
am sorry. I have a competition Saturday.
See, she's got a competition Saturday.
We should have a competition to read those books. I can say that because I'm far enough away not to get stuff thrown at me.
Not to get stuff thrown at you. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to read. Numbers are awesome. But yeah, I'll get Fool Killer over to you. And right now I am scheduled to be off next week. So we'll be back at next time, same bat channel.
Sounds good to me. We'll get back at it, and we'll check out Fool Killer, and we will go from there. Maybe we'll have a little bit of show and tell next week. I'm putting books away, but I'm grabbing stuff that I know is are like key issues and stuff, and putting them all in one box. Sadly, I didn't think it would fill up that quick, but it did.
Yes.
I filled up a short box real fast.
Yeah, when you've been collecting as long as we have, you go through, holy Jesus, is that really worth that amount of money?
Like, oh, where's the TARDIS when you need it?
Damn it.
There's one at my comic shop, but it doesn't work. It's just a empty wooden box.
Empty wooden box.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go into an empty wooden box anytime soon.
All right, man. Well, I'll see you next week, and I'll get the book over to you.
Okay. Until next time.
All right, man.
Well, he's going to have to wait.